On 9.1 test iteration 1, here is another game in the STB1. I am working towards this on the live server, but not quite there yet. I'm still in the cheery. I will get this thing eventually, I just don't know when. But since I don't have it yet on the live server, I like to take it out on test and just get a feel for it, like I do with most of the tanks I'm planning on getting but don't quite have. And here you can see a mark of excellence on our 261's barrel, just barely as I drove past him. Now this is the new reworked version of Komarin, and it's significantly better. They've actually drained the swamp so you can move around on both ends of the map without being slowed down. It's much more hilly, as you can see, and the hills actually provide cover from the central island, so you can no longer snipe from the middle all the way across the entire map. What you can do is position on these hills here and get shots all around. Also I should note the forest is still there, so you can still hell camp the forest. It's just a lot less effective because you no longer have sight lines across the whole map from them. Where I am now, I can be hit from A3, but not from A1 or A2, and they'll have difficulty hitting me as well. If I move any further to my right, I cannot be hit from the forest. But this area where I am now gives a really good playground for medium tanks, especially ones that do hold down well, like say the Centurion or the STB. I had excellent games in both on this map while on test. One of our teammates is pointing out the fact that our 183s are driven by complete puppies. Meanwhile, I was pre-aiming that guy knowing he hadn't moved, and sure enough, he's now dead. Managed to sneak a shot into that STB there. You can see just how different the terrain here is, and also the cover it provides now from the north is much better. Previously you had to decide whether you wanted to be covered from the north or covered from the west, and now you can be covered from both to an extent at least. It should make the map a lot more interesting. And a lot less static as well. I don't know if it'll completely fix it, but from the games I had on test, it was certainly very much improved. Just about bought it there, but RNG stepped in and saved me, so there's 24 hit points left. I now am on clean-up duty with the bulk of the enemy team dealt with. There's just a few things left that need to die. Decided to jump in on this fight here with our 140 and the Leopard. The fight our 140 is not winning. I know this guy's being covered by that 183, and I know the 183 can see me because I'm proxied by the Leopard, so I don't want to drive out. What I want to do is get the Leopard to drive in front of me, because that 140 is still behind me providing cover. I think I have him there, but he backs off at the last second. So I back off and try and get out of his proxy spotting range when our 140 lights at 62A coming up, and our 183 decides to push into my face. I roll over to finish off the 62A, which I'm able to do. I make a mistake there, I shouldn't have stopped. The 183, if he'd been paying attention, would have got me there. Thankfully he's not paying attention, in fact he's been team killing, and so I'm able to wait for him to get lit and take a shot at him. He goes for somebody else rather than me, and is dealt with by one of our 183s. pretty fast game, a lot more aggressive than this map usually is. It's a bit less atmospheric, I'm going to go out there and say, with the swamps drained. The fields look kind of plain and boring now, but I mean, in this case it wasn't a necessary evil. The gameplay is just so much better, but I still stand by my original position, which is that if you drained the entire swamp, the whole thing, and made the map dry completely, made it into a step map, took out the trees, left the houses there, just all the trees gone, all the water gone, it would be so much fun. And I really, really want Wargaming to make a version like that, so I can zip around that riverbed in a light tank or a medium tank, and then have like a Thunderdome in the center of it. I think that would be a lot of fun, but I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't work, I guess. You might have pubbies just line up and snipe across, but I don't think it'd be too bad. It wouldn't be like El Haloof, because it'd be too steep for people to snipe into it, and it's too narrow for them to really snipe across. So you could just dive in there and trench run while everyone else fights it out over the top of you. But, oh well, we'll see. With the most recent, well, with this patch 9.1, which is already out on the Russian and EU servers, I think, and I think it's coming to NA, or coming in the next few days, I mean, or has already hit. I'm not sure, I haven't played World of Tanks for about a week or two. But with this patch, it's evident that Wargaming have finally got their act together with some of the maps. This map's been fixed to an extent. Arctic region is a lot better now, it's a lot more aggressive, and Tundra has also been improved. I think that it was just those three, there may have been one or two others, but it's obvious somebody there at Wargaming knows how to make maps play a little more aggressively, which is always a good thing, and hopefully they'll continue putting out more maps like the new one, Kharkov, and more improvements of existing maps like they have with this, and Tundra and Arctic region. And as long as they keep making maps that play into the hands of mediums, I am quite happy.